Hey y'all, do you like a topping for your pie, but you really don't like the additives and preservatives and all the foreign things that are in the whipped topping, frozen whipped topping at the grocery store, the non-dairy frozen whipped topping, or you don't even care for the taste of meringue? I know a lot of people who don't like meringue. Well, there's another alternative. It's very simple. So this is to explain to those who might not have ever made homemade whipped cream. So let's do that real quick and I'll show you how to have an alternative to the store-bought stuff or homemade meringue. Katie, welcome to Heritage Ways, where we honor home, celebrate heritage, and spread hope. And today I just want to explain to someone who may not be familiar how to have homemade whipped cream. It's delicious, absolutely delicious. And it's basically just taking heavy whipping cream, not half and half, but heavy whipping cream, and you're just whipping it. I'm doing it in this stainless bowl today. I'm doing it with my hand mixer. I'm doing about a cup, which is a half of a pint, because we just want a topping for some pie tonight. It does take a little time. If you have a stand mixer, you don't have to, physically stand there. You can just go and do something else while it's mixing. But let me warn you, once upon a time, I walked off and forgot. Actually, I had company to come to my door while I was making homemade whipped cream, and I visited too long at the door and it turned into, you guessed it, butter. So if you whip whipping cream too long, you get butter. And we ended up laughing and using it that night with the homemade bread that the company had brought. Now, I prefer a non-sweet whipped cream, which is another advantage to making it at home in your own kitchen. And it's actually healthy if you get a good organic or raw whole cream. I prefer it not sweet or mildly sweet. So I actually have, to about 1 cup, I'm probably going to add about a tablespoon of powdered sugar. And this was left over from another project I did, and I had about a tablespoon of powdered sugar. I've been known to not use any sugar. I personally like it like that. You could add a dab of vanilla at the end of the whipping process, or some vanilla powder at the end. So I want to do this for you, and let's show you how easy it is. Up. So what I'm going to do now is add this tablespoon of sugar that I told you about. Just mix that up in here. Alright, now there's a point before it, you can almost hear it. I've done it so many times, where you're mixing, especially if you're using a stand mixer, and it starts to turn into butter. You can almost hear the difference, turn over from whipping cream to butter. But there is a point where if you've whipped it till it's a little bit too thick, before it starts turning into butter, you can then rescue it by adding a little bit, maybe a teaspoon or a tablespoon of cream again, and softening it up. But what this is called is stiff peaks. You want stiff peaks, but you still want it to be smooth and pretty. So if it gets grainy looking past the stiff peaks, that's when you can add just a little bit of cream and thin it out again. But you should be able to hold it upside down and it won't come out when it's ready. So there you go, friends. That's the fast and easy way to turn heavy whipping cream into homemade whipped cream. Y'all should try it. Let me know down below in the comments if you prefer a topping of meringue or the non-dairy frozen product or homemade whipping cream. Everybody's different. I'm going to taste this. mildly to almost no sweet, but I love it. You can add a little bit more powdered sugar. You could probably, to this cup, you could probably add maybe a little less than a third even, depending on how sweet you want it. I like it like this, and this is another advantage to making it yourself, because you can make it as sweet or non-sweet as you want. Before we go, friends, I would like to read a passage about the greatest gift that was given to us and we can give to others, and that is love. 1 Corinthians 13, though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become a sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but I have not love, it profits nothing. Love suffers long and is kind. Love does not envy. It does not parade itself. It is not puffed up. Love does not behave rudely, and it does not seek its own. It's not provoked, and it thinks no evil. Does not rejoice in iniquity, but rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. We at Heritage Ways seek ways to listen to someone's story and share our own stories. And by doing so, we feel like we can receive and give grace to others and possibly bring more peace and joy and love to the world. Won't you join us in that mission to spread hope